Welcome my dear students of class 10 to my history class. Today I am going to teach you the same lesson, the Second World War. Points as I mentioned, please look at it. Armament race, the humiliation of Germany, policy of appeasement, negative impact of appeasement, invasion of China. First point, armament race. What is armament race? You know, Germany under the leadership of Hitler and Italy under the leadership of Mussolini tried their level best to solve their all problems, like an unemployment problem, education problem, health problem. In every sphere of life, Italy and Germany brought remarkable changes in all respects and made their country free of all problems. They established a strong economy throughout their countries. Under the leadership of Hitler, unemployment problem was solved. Hitler encouraged the people of India, people of Germany to extend their cooperation towards the government, towards the Nazi government, so that government must extend their keen cooperation towards the people. That means we want to do something for you in return for what you have done for us. And ultimately, under the leadership of Hitler, Germany witnessed a new era, an era of achievement, an era of development, an era of improvement. Hitler wanted to make a strong Germany. That's why he started manufacturing weapons, arms. He strengthened his military system, military department, and manufacturing of sophisticated weapons immediately made Germany a very strong nation of the world. Hitler decided to do it with a view to oppose, with a view to take revenge against the Allied powers who forced them to sign the harsh and insulting Treaty of Versailles. And not only that, this armament policy of Germany, this armament race, for this armament race, each nation tried to outdo others in the manufacture of arms. Anger and distrust grew. By the late 1920s, Europe was a region where all the nations were posed with advanced weaponry, waiting for an opportunity to assert themselves, to prove themselves that they could fight against each other, they were strong nations, strong countries of the world and could defeat another country. Thus, war was inevitable under such circumstances. And next point, the humiliation of Germany. The humiliation of Germany. The defeat of Germany in the First World War and the unjust Treaty of Versailles humiliated Germany. It left the German nation with a deep feeling of anger and distrust of the other European nations. The desire to regain their honor and pride, paved the way of Hitler's rise to power. But unfortunately, Hitler did not stop at just German self-respect. He went a step forward to spread hatred for other nations and races. And it was a great cause of defeat Germany had to face. And next one, policy of appeasement. What is policy of appeasement? What do you mean by policy of appeasement? Policy of appeasement was followed by two countries of Europe, England and France. These two countries adopted the policy of appeasement. Now, what is policy of appeasement? And who followed it? England and France followed the policy of appeasement. Now, what is it? The policy conciliating an aggressive power at the expense of some other country towards Germany and Italy. That means the Allied powers, on behalf of the Allied powers, both the two more powerful nations or countries of Europe, England and France, felt that signing the Treaty of Versailles, signing forcefully the Treaty of Versailles was a great factor for Germany. Germany decided to take revenge against the Allied powers. That's why Germany should be given chance to make her economy strong at the cost of other countries. That's why Germany decided to occupy some countries of Europe, but both the two countries, England and France, remained silent because they adopted the policy of appeasement. They decided to accept the hostile demands of the aggressive nations to gain, peace. They knew that both for Germany and Italy, the Treaty of Versailles was too harsh and humiliating. And if the grievances of Germany were removed, it would not disturb the world peace. They thought it. Who? England and France. They also wanted to check the rising tide of communism, which was started in China, and Russian Bolshevism, and therefore allowed Germany to rearm and to remilitarize the Rhineland and capture Austria and Czechoslovakia. Whenever Germany captured Austria and Czechoslovakia, they remained silent. Whenever, China was attacked by, Japan, they remained silent because of the fear of communism and Russian Bolshevism. That's why both the two countries allowed Germany to be powerful nation in Europe, and to make her deficiencies fulfilled, to make her deficiencies strong. Due to this policy, fascism and Nazism survived for long, and thus they were able to unleash the Second World War. So this was the most important cause, and this was the most important factor, paved the way of another world war, the Second World War. Next point, negative impact of the policy of appeasement. What was about the negative impact of the policy of appeasement? The policy of appeasement followed by England and France gave Japan a golden chance to avail, and Japan availed herself of the opportunity by attacking the vast area of China, Manchuria, and established a government there. China appealed to the League of Nations against the attack of Japan, but the League could not take any initiative to make Japan stop doing it. Japan kept on doing it. And as soon as Japan realized that China appealed something to the League, and League was trying to make her stop Japan left the league and decided to make the Axis power Berlin, Tokyo, Berlin, Berlin, Rome, and Tokyo Axis. Germany and Italy started occupying other countries by adopting the policy of aggression. They decided to make a number of colonies. They realized that these were the two countries, England and France, adopted, were encouraging them indirectly to do it so. Naturally, they should keep on increasing their colonies at the cost of the policy of appeasement of England and France. Japan also came forward. Japan also started increasing her colonies. And from the sides of France and England, they had the fear of spreading communism and Bolshevism. The concept of communism was developed in China, and the concept of Bolshevism also was developed in other parts of the world. So in fear of spreading these two really political policy and concepts, communism and Bolshevism, England and France decided to adopt the policy of appeasement. But by adopting this policy of appeasement, by following this policy of appeasement, they made the three countries, Germany, Italy, and Japan, very much strong. They indirectly helped them, or automatically by taking such help from England and France. These three countries, Germany, Italy, and Japan, tried their level best to make up their defects and to make a strong economy, and were able to be self-sufficient in the field of military system, in the field of economic system, in the field of development, in the field of smooth development before the Second World War. What they wanted to do to make their nations self-sufficient, strong, so that they could fight bravely and actively against the Allied powers during another World War, the Second World War. And it resulted in another World War, the Second World War. Because other nations, they did not sit idle. They also started increasing their arms. They started constructing their arms, they also started manufacturing their arms. This arm race, or race for armament, paved the way of another World War, the Second World War. Now, invasion of China. China was a country. Suddenly, the concept of communism had become popularized, and the way of spreading that concept, communism, came to different countries of Europe. So it was a great fear for two countries, England and France. They did not want to be popularized. They did not want communism to be popularized throughout Europe, Asia, and Africa. That's why they adopted a policy of appeasement. It was Japan suddenly attacked China, and the vast area of China, Manchuria, was occupied by Japan. China appealed it to the League. League took the help from England and France. But both the two countries remained silent because already they had adopted the policy of appeasement. And it is due to that reason Japan kept on increasing her colonies throughout Far East. And Japan also left the League and joined the Axis power. Join the Axis power means Germany and Italy, and made Berlin, Rome, Tokyo axis, Berlin, Rome, Tokyo axis against the Allied powers, so that they could fight against the Allied powers unitedly, collectively, before starting off another world war, the Second World War. Up to this, my dear students. Thank you. Right?